After a lot of waiting, the Dallas Mavericks finally got to see Luka Doncic play with his new teammate Kyrie Irving for the first time.
Script at the other end of the floor. Trailing the play, Luka straight on three.
The Sacramento Kings won the game by a score of 133 to 128 in overtime on Friday night. When talking about playing with Irving, Doncic said, "Amazing, man. We had never played together before."
We had a lot of laughs. He's a great guy, we talk a lot, so it was great to have him here.
"I really enjoy playing with this guy. He plays basketball really well. I think it will be a lot of fun. Today was a lot of fun for the first time."
Just fun, It's just been mic'd up, talking to the guys.
Overall, both Mavs stars played well. In his first game back after being out since February 2nd with a bruised heel, Doncic scored 27 points, grabbed 9 rebounds, and gave out 5 assists.
27-point lead, down goes Johnson, bullseye.
Irving finished his game with 28 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists, which made him the top scorer for Dallas. In the beginning of the game, the Mavs played more like they were in motion, using handoffs and off-ball screening. Since the other team started the game in base defense, the goal was to use as much of the unit as possible during each possession.
Last night where he shot 33% or worse, Luka, and his kick out is to Green.
Doncic, who leads the NBA in points scored in the first quarter, usually breaks through these defenses, which he did again by scoring 11 points. Irving got his game together and scored 2 points. At the end of the first half, Dallas was behind by 34 to 32. Irving said that the first few minutes of a game are always about figuring out how to play with new players.
Fun, get up and down a little bit, get ready for what's coming in the second half of the season, and just leave out of here.
It's clear that every situation is different, but I think the best thing about me is that I can be flexible on the field and adapt to whatever they throw at me. It's not something new, but it does take time to figure out. This is fun because of that, Irving said.
I was happy to get picked. To his team, wish we could have got the win, but I've been...
All I do is add to what this team already had going on. This team already had a lot going for it. I'm just adding value and figuring out how best to rally the group and lead.
We don't score 170 points, but hey, we're all all-stars. Guys just want to leave healthy, so I get it.
The Mavs' first possession of the game was played out of the post by Doncic. It would become a go-to move for the all-star starter when the usual pick-and-roll defenses weren't there. Dwight Powell gave Doncic a pass to get into the set, and then he went to work against Harrison Barnes. It was a typical Mavs basketball play. People talked a lot about how the Mavs' fast pace would change after Doncic left. There was a good sign about how they could pick up the pace and include him if the first result wasn't good.
Wednesday, but 4 points already tonight, and it is a nice pass, and it's an even better finish.
Doncic got the ball during a change of possession and scored from beyond the arc. Doncic can keep the advantage that the push gave him by taking this shot, attacking downhill, or making a quick read on a pass. He can also just start over. The most important thing for Irving early in the game was to find points to attack when they were there. Early in the first quarter, he was able to attack off of a ball screen.
Herder guarding now on a switch. This could be a promising situation. A pull-up, yes sir.
He split 2 defenders and then scored through the big deep on the drive. The only other time he had a possession that led to a result was when he turned the ball over when going for a closeout after a Josh Green spray-out pass. The Mavs had a lot of success in Friday's game by using simple half-court moves like zoom action. The Kings were aggressive.
Davis 4-3, missed the last one, but not that one.
Making the Mavs stars see 2 on the ball on the drive and switching the low man to stop a pass to the roller. Doncic had a catch-and-shoot 3 that he missed on one play. This is what Doncic has to do to make a consistent basket. When they had the chance, the Kings did everything they could to stop Doncic from attacking downhill. By changing the first ball screen, they made it harder for him to get into the paint after he had been hurt. There were early signs that he was getting comfortable from three-point range, even when the Mavs had a play set up for him to get a pass to his right. Doncic played the whole first quarter for the Mavs, while Irving was on the court for 7 minutes 15 seconds.
Again. Barnes guarding Luka, and a 3 right in his face.
The goal was to spread out their playing time so that Irving could lead the second unit at the start of the next quarter. This would give him more chances to play aggressively when he had the ball. Irving stopped the Mavs' run by sprinting to the corner in transition to get a catch-and-shoot look before the end of the half. This showed how good he was at making shots. The Kings only had 0.1 seconds left on the clock after the ball went through the nylon. It was enough for Dallas to have a lead at the half.
McGee, nice little lead for Luka. Works his way baseline, bullet pass down the baseline, late shot.
After halftime, Doncic often started plays and was the Mavs' best choice. Tim Hardaway Jr. couldn't play because of a tight hamstring. Bullock took his place at the start of the half. So, Doncic often used Bullock as a screener to get Kevin Huerter to switch on to him and give him an edge. At first, this was pretty good. He scored at the rim even though there was only one defender on him. As the game went on, the Kings played aggressively so that Doncic had to see more and more defenders. He saw help at the nail and outright double teams to cancel out the benefits he saw from a switch that gave him a good matchup. Sacramento was able to make the Mavs make some mistakes and mess up their offense. As Irving said, he knew there would be times when he could attack and be aggressive. In the third quarter, he started using ball screens more to get to his spots. This is an example of how Irving changes the Mavs. The Kings didn't let Doncic attack single coverage by looking for mismatches because of Irving. Until later in the game, he wasn't quite in a rhythm with these plays. Irving said that he will have to be ready to tweak his game to make the most of these situations. He's looking forward to practicing catch-and-shoot three-pointers when he gets back to Dallas so that he can make those shots on Monday against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Since it was Irving's first game with his new superstar teammate, he took every chance to be aggressive in transition, whether he was on the floor or not. He scored 8 points on a transition play, which was second only to a pick-and-roll play in terms of how many points he got in a game. All of these points happened after the first half. Irving was the one who started the fourth quarter, while Doncic was on the bench and didn't join in until later. But as games come to a close in the fourth quarter, 4-on-3 situations will give Irving easy looks. He can either attack off the dribble to get into the paint and use his creative shot-making skills, or he can take the catch-and-shoot three if it's there. Down the stretch, he made a play that used both strategies. The Mavs have a lot to look forward to as a result of Irving and Doncic's first game together. Since Irving joined a team in the middle of the season, he has to fit in with what they are already doing. He didn't have a training camp to come into as a clear leader with a full playbook. As the stretch run goes on, they will not only learn more about each other's games, but the team can also try new things. On Monday, the Mavs will play their next game against the Minnesota Timberwolves. This will be Irving's first home game with the team.